Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm honored to be sitting here today with a guest that many of you know so well, whom we all appreciate for the many tips and tools he has given us to grow our businesses with online marketing. WHHI-TV news partner John Ontal with Niche Market Media. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
No problem. You definitely deserve it.
Thank you.
So John is back today to talk to all of you out there who have a great new product or service, but you just don't know how to get started or how to get the word out. Tell us, John, what is the absolute first step when launching a new product or service?
Great question. You've got to know like who your perfect avatar is, or who are you trying to sell something to?
Okay.
And a lot of times businesses don't even know who that is, or it's not defined. Are we talking, do we want to market to a kid? Do we want to market to adults? Do we want to market to a business person? So you really have to create that person and speak to them individually. So you have to know who you're marketing to. That's number one.
Okay, so we have that person in mind. We know who we're going, who we're marketing to.
Right.
What comes next?
Well, what we're doing today, we got to create videos about what we're doing. And we have to, well, first of all, there's one more step too that we need to talk about, and that's we've got to make sure what we want to sell that they want or need.
Right.
And so and then we're going to transform their lives with this stuff.
Okay. So. All right, so you talked about videos real quick there. What are some of those mental triggers you must incorporate into those videos?
That's another great question. Anytime you're doing a product launch, I'm going to give an example like Apple. They just came out with a new iPhone, and what they did is they create this huge buzz. They have bloggers writing things, and so by the time it comes out, and they could probably have way more iPhones than they actually sent out.
Definitely.
But what they did, they have people waiting in lines, they have people blogging about it, and so they create this huge buzz by videos, by blogging. They create what's called an event.
Right.
And then they're sold out. Everybody wants to get them, and so they do a huge amount of sales. Another one, like there's a McDonald's, they do something, the McRib, every once in a while. And the McRib, everybody's excited about it if they like McDonald's, but it's only open for or it's only available for a limited time. So, having scarcity is a mental trigger, creating an event, social proof. That means everybody's got to have one, or everybody's having one.
Right.
Another great mental trigger is authority. Like a lot of times you'll see like somebody on TV talking about a medicine, they're in a white coat.
Of course.
Or, or a teacher with the chalkboard, and so people listen. And also stories. People learn by telling stories, they pass stories on to one another, and those are all mental triggers that get people wanting to buy.
Right. Okay. So we have to develop this need for the product and this desire for it. It's all mental.
Yes.
We're playing with their minds a little bit.
Well, that's marketing. And if we don't, I used to look at marketing and I didn't know why I would want to buy.
Right.
Until I figured this stuff out. And then so I did a lot of studying on it. I went to a conference here recently, and these mental triggers, I'm like, that was it. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm buying this, but now I know.
Right. Because a lot of times you have a cell phone.
Right.
It's just fine.
Sure.
I mean, nothing's wrong with it, but you got to get the next one that came out.
That's it.
And you figured out why. You figured out why it's happening. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what type of entrepreneurs would be best suited for this type of product launch?
I'm going to go broad, and then I'm going to break it down.
Okay.
Just about anybody. And I'm going to say if you've got a program at a school, if you've got a digital agency, whatever it is, if you can, first of all, the biggest tool for me is educating people on what we do.
Right.
Whatever business is. So if you're any kind of entrepreneur, really it works. But if you have an educational product that you could put in videos and give them a little bit at a time, and then at the end of that video, tell them how it's going to transform their lives, and then you can transition into a sale.
Okay, well, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are ready to transform their lives and their businesses.
Yes.
So how can they get in contact with you?
They can call me on my cell phone at 843-415-6611, or find me online at nichemarketmedia.net.
Okay, and I visited the website. I love it. So I'm sure they will too. Thank you so much for joining us again today. It's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
I'm Charisma Thomas here on WHHI's Talk of the Town. Thank you. We'll be right back.